In today's video, I'm going to show you a real simple yet really effective way that you can add some really smooth movement shots to your videos to make them look more cinematic and without the use of any equipment. So no gimbal, no stabilizer, no tripod, just purely handheld with your camera. Hey guys, I'm Greg Stocks and I'm one half of Destination Collective. Today we are in the beautiful Dominican Republic. This isn't a fake backdrop, this really is paradise. So first up, before we go on to how we can add those really smooth shots, let's look at why movement is important in the first place. Well, videos, films, it's ultimately all about storytelling and motion, and by adding camera movement just helps to build on that storytelling. It helps convey that emotion. Now, it's not to say that static shots, and when I say static, I mean just keeping the camera completely still, don't convey emotion, because they do. However, you wouldn't want to watch something that was just a static shot followed by a static shot followed by a static shot, because it would just get very boring. Nonetheless, if you use static shots interchangeably with movement shots, that can also be effective because, for example, if we are keeping the camera still, that might be a great way to really grasp the audience attention on something, and it's a great way to build tension in a moment as well. So this simple, effective, smooth movement that you can incorporate in your videos is this. Now, you might say, Greg, that looks stupid, that's so basic, what the hell are you on about? Well, let me assure you that if you take a look at this footage, this is from a recent behind the scenes fashion shoot that I did. Eva was doing some photography and I was doing some filming. And unfortunately, I broke my ribs when I was surfing, and I'm still in some pain now, and I can't grasp a hold of the gimbal because it's just too much weight. And if you're trying to have your ribs heal, you need to not carry much weight. Now notice the very subtle movements in this video. You can see the camera just moving to the right. It just gives that shot a bit of movement. Now, the key to this shot is to film in slow motion. So those shots you just saw were filmed at 60 frames per second. Now, if you look at this shot that I'm about to get of Eva in 24 frames per second, you'll see that the footage is a bit shaky, it's nothing amazing. What I was doing was transferring my weight onto my right foot, holding the camera steady and just moving across. Now, because it's filmed in 24 frames a second, the footage is a bit up and down, it's a bit shaky. Now, look what I can achieve if I switch it to 60 frames per second and 120 on the shutter speed, the footage should be a lot smoother. There you go. So if you look at the difference between the 24 frames per second shot and the 60 frames per second shot, you should hopefully see that it's a lot smoother. Now, something else that we can also do is to time our movement. So again, this simple, effective movement is just transferring our weight and moving either side, so to your left, to your right. But what we can do that makes that movement more effective is if the person we are filming is making a movement of their own at the same time. So for example, Eva, I would like to film you. You're going to be standing still, and as I move across, you're just going to peer into the camera monitor, okay? You're going to move slightly towards the camera. So let's see how this works. Ready? Cool, thank you. So combining that smooth, subtle movement of myself and the camera, someone in the frame or an object in the frame moving as well, and timing those together can just really enhance our shot, enhance our scene. Now remember why I'm giving you this advice in the first place. This is if you only have the accessibility to go handheld on your camera. So by all means, use a gimbal, use a tripod, use a slider if you have those available to you. Now, nonetheless, if you've shot something and you've noticed in the edit that a lot of your shots are static, you can also, in post-production, add some keyframes in to manually adjust the movement. You're going to scale in on the frame slightly so you've got room to move either side or up and down, and you can just digitally move that frame across. Now, in my opinion, it's not as great as if you're going to do it when you're on the shoot and you're there in the moment and you're doing that movement handheld, but by all means it is something you can try out. Now what you can also do for this smooth movement, just to aid it a bit more, is use the camera strap. So again, you can just have the camera out in front of you and just moving across like that. That gives us a touch point of 3 different points. So I've got 2 hands here and a 3rd point on the back of my neck. So that's just helping, plus my elbows in here actually. So that's just helping keep the camera still. But if we look at the footage of Lisbeth, our model, on this photo shoot, you can see that I do use static shots. I've also got a few shots where I tilt the camera, so I'm having my camera pointed towards her feet, and I might even be bending my knees at the same time, and then I'm moving up and tilting the camera at the same time. So that's also another bit of movement that I've used in that video. But you'll see that there are quite a lot of static shots in there, but just by adding these few shots with movement just really helps make that video a better video. It is a very simple movement, but I promise you the results will be very effective. Go and try it in your videos. I'd love to see you use it in practice. Thank you ever so much for watching. I've been Greg Stocks, this is Destination Collective. If you found this video helpful, please smash the like button. That'll really help us, much appreciated. And please consider subscribing as well if you want to see some more videos on videography, photography and digital marketing. Thank you and goodbye.